Switcher, too.
From the Frederick Keys to the Flying Cows, from college courts to Friday night lights, and from the big leagues of local sports to the little leagues where it all begins. This is Frederick Sports, hosted by longtime broadcaster and sports executive John Hunt, bringing over 40 years of play-by-play, insight, and local sports experience to the mic. Frederick Sports starts now.
The weekend is almost here. So happy it's Thursday, and we've had some storms. If you're out driving in around the Frederick region, do look for a little bit of road flooding. There was some right over by the the middle school, Thomas Johnson Middle School and Thomas Johnson High School right there at the intersection. There was a little bit of road flooding just about 20 minutes ago. No matter what area you're going to, it came down pretty hard for a minute. So just be careful when you see any kind of heavy rain water standing on the roads. So just a heads up if you're getting ready to make the drive home in just a little bit. It looks like there might be a few more storms coming on and off throughout the rest of the night. So again, just think about that if you're driving around and about. I'm John Hunt. This is, what is it today? It is Frederick Sports. I do the two shows, and sometimes I want to say it's John's house when it's Frederick Sports. Sometimes, it's the other way around. But for the most part, we get it right. And the people working behind the scenes today, it's Dougie. So thanks to Dougie for jumping on board and helping us out, trying to make us look good. Here in the Everything Frederick Live Network, we love having special guests on the show. And if you'd like to be a special guest, it's pretty simple. Just hit me up at rockthewave13@gmail.com and we can get you on the show. And speaking of special guests, we have Rob Smiroldo from the Frederick Gargoyles Special Hockey. We talk about special guests. We got special hockey. Rob, how are you this afternoon, my friend?
I'm great. Drove from New Windsor, so I was right in that storm. Seemed like it was heading this way.
Exactly. Hopefully, everything was safe and smooth for you on the way over here.
Yeah, except this way, sun was bright. My way.
Right in your eyes?
A little on the dark side.
I gotcha. All right, my friend. Well, let's talk a little bit about Frederick Gargoyles Special Hockey and explain to me what that is. I'm going to ask you the question on air. I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it just because it might be an easy lead in. But is it sled hockey or what is special hockey? What is that all about?
No, sled hockey is totally different. Mm-hmm. Special hockey, it's more adaptive hockey. We have athletes on the autism spectrum, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. It's still upright hockey. It's just adaptive, similar template to traditional hockey, 5-on-5, but there's 3 different skill levels. Mm-hmm. Level A's, they're your more advanced skaters. You have B's and C's are your beginners. And a lot of times in the B and C games, we'll have 2.5 minute shifts, but they're still out on the ice for at least an hour. Some of them don't even take an off shift. They just want to stay on the ice.
Right. I understand. So you don't have to be a goalie to stay on the ice the whole time. Normally you got to be a goalie to be able to play the whole game, I guess.
Yeah. But we also want everybody to enjoy it. So sometimes that one stubborn athlete that doesn't want to come off. Most of the time it's my son, who's also on the team.
Okay.
He has to be escorted to the bench and then.
Right. I understand. I did coach once upon a time. My son was a hockey player from age 4, started playing roller hockey with the ball versus a puck. And then they switched on the everything indoor flooring to the ball that had the tiny little balls inside it that made it roll. easier, the puck, I should say, not the ball, that had the ball bearings on the bottom of it so that it would slide across the floor. And then he switched to ice hockey.
Okay.
Many years later, but 11 years of coaching. So I understand how it is coaching kids. And, there are other challenges in what you do. What age groups are covered? I know you have the A, B, and C level, but what age groups?
So it starts at age 5.
Mm-hmm.
They do not age out.
Oh, okay.
And it's co-ed.
Mm-hmm.
So boys, girls, men, women, and they could be my age. Like we had a special hockey event a couple weeks ago. First time trying it, one of our athletes was 40 years old.
Wow.
And then there's others that are, well, unfortunately, you got to wait until you're 5, but
right.
We're waiting for you.
Exactly. Yeah. When I was coaching 4-year-olds, they were supposed to be 5, but they needed coaches. And my buddy and I agreed to coach. We both had 4-year-old sons, and we said, all right, we'll coach, but we got to let our kids at least be involved. And they let them. This is down in Atlanta at the time.
Okay.
And then it grew into them both becoming really good hockey players. My son stopped playing because he decided football was more important than hockey, even though he was a great football player, but he was an extremely excellent hockey player. But he made the choice to switch over to football. I think he thought there were more girls there. I don't know if that's the only reason.
Yeah, maybe like cheerleaders.
Yeah, and in high school, that made a bit of a difference. So,
yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about where you guys play and how often that you guys get together for practice and playing for anybody who might be interested in joining.
Yeah, so we're just right up the street at Skate Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, we're the newest team to skate at Skate Frederick. So we have to wait our turn for ice times because you got high school, college, the other club teams. But we try to start usually end of September, maybe early October, and we'll go to basically the first week of May, end of April. And we'll try to do it 2 times a month. But also when you have holidays, and then if we travel to like an out-of-state tournament, like last year, we did 1 trip to New Jersey, 2 to do 2 different parts of New York.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we won't have practice because we'll be out of state at a friendly tournament.
Right. Understood. And so you're getting ready to sign kids up. Are signups already done? Are you still signing up kids? And how does that work? Do you go on your website? Do they come to Skate Frederick? Where do they sign up?
No, so we're under the American Special Hockey Association.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go to specialhockey.org and they'll do their registration there.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still signing kids up. I believe it's September 15th. There is a cutoff date if anyone wanted to participate in any of the October tournaments. Like there's Frankenfest in New Jersey.
Wow.
Some of our athletes are already going to that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically our new league year starts July 1st.
Okay.
So July 1st, email, social media post, hey, don't forget to sign up. New season technically started, even though we haven't hit the ice.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll even throughout the season, if someone's late to the party, hey, check out a couple practices and we can get you signed up.
Okay. And how is it all funded? I'm guessing it's all privately funded by the individual who's playing or the family of the individual. And do you have any events coming up that might help you guys?
Yeah. So we do have team dues,
Mm-hmm.
but we are also funded by sponsorships. And
okay.
we do have a couple sponsors already this season to help pay for our ice time because we are a small team. We're still new. This is our 2nd season. So the sponsorships are a huge help because I believe annually it's close to $12,000 to cover our ice time for the entire season.
Just for your ice time?
Just for the ice time.
Wow. That is pretty hefty. And you were saying that you don't get the best ice times. Does that mean you're skating at 10 o'clock at night or, crazy stuff like that? Like back in the pickup days?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Although I'm sure some of our kids wouldn't have a problem staying up past their bedtime
Right.
to play hockey. But also us parents, we have to work the next day.
Yes.
So we're not going to be that late. But we do have a good relationship with some of the club teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, can we have this Sunday? So we won't have a set schedule when it comes to ice time. It's basically off days that, hey, this is a good day for us to practice. Like, especially when it comes to work schedules or school schedules, we can't schedule practice at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday once school starts.
Right. Exactly. And so I know you're skating 5-on-5. How many teams do you have that are able to play against each other, or is it the same 2 teams playing each other in each division? How does that work?
No, so we can basically, if another team has more than enough athletes at the same skill level, we can take 2 teams to make one and have equal ice time for everyone.
Okay.
And that's part of us being adaptive hockey. We're adapting to not having the numbers for certain teams. Because like last season, we had 14 athletes.
Okay.
So not everyone's going to make every practice, every friendly tournament. So, we have 2 color jerseys. We've got darks and we got whites.
Right.
So everybody wear your whites, and then extra people. All right, we'll direct them, put on your darks, swap them out, and you're going to play with, like one of our other local teams is the Washington Ice Dogs down in Laurel. So, hey, you're going to be an ice dog today. Put on your white jersey or whatever the case may be.
Okay. And are you still in need of people to help out at the rink, like coaches, assistants, parents to watch, and come out and help the kids on and off the ice, that kind of thing?
No, we're pretty much set on coaches. I think we're up to, 8 total. There's a couple part-time coaches, but as far as full-time, we basically have 6, which is more than enough. And then, we won't turn down people cheering in the stands for us, because everybody, like our athletes, our coaches, everyone loves when someone scores a goal. So the more noise, the better. But as far as getting them on the ice, once they get their routine, a lot of them, hey, I just need you to tie my skates.
Right. And then that's understandable. So what would you tell me? I mean, I like to do this anytime I'm involved with a nonprofit or something like that. And this, in some ways, this kind of fits. Tell me what your favorite story is of a kid that maybe got there and a lot of people thought, okay, this kid's never going to be able to skate, or they're never going to be able to compete. And then they worked their way to a point where they were, of course, an adaptive way that they were scoring goals. They were playing well. So tell me the story, maybe from start to finish, on one of these kids. And you don't have to give their names or anything.
Yeah. So there's a ton of stories. But with us coming in, like I said, our second season, this isn't our first season.
Right.
So seeing it start to finish from my point of view as a hockey dad, I saw it from my son. We were playing knee hockey in the living room when I would come home with a date night with my wife at 11 o'clock at night, and we're playing knee hockey in the living room before he even hit the ice. So seeing that start to finish, to him, this will be his 6th season on the ice. And the first 2 with another local team down in Rockville, the Montgomery Cheetahs, he learned to skate with them, and just you see them go from there. Last season, we had 2 different athletes that if we had one full practice of them being on the ice, it was a win.
Okay.
And at the tournament in Pittsburgh, these 2 athletes, something just clicked. They went after the puck. They scored goals. They wanted nothing more than to play hockey. Whereas before, it was almost like a struggle to get them to stay on the ice, to move their feet. And then in Pittsburgh, it just clicked, and they were moving their feet, going after the puck, taking the puck, and scoring goals.
No, I love those kind of stories. I mean, we had a situation. I managed minor league baseball teams for 6 years before coming back and doing this. And I got to work with the Make-A-Wish group. And there was a kid who was non-communicative and was in a wheelchair all the time. Slept in the wheelchair. He's pretty smaller than his normal size. And he wouldn't communicate at all with anyone. a foster family took him, and they watched a lot of baseball. And so the child started smiling every time he saw baseball on the television. And so he still didn't communicate, but at least you could see his eyes get excited, and he would smile and maybe start to move his hands a little bit when a baseball game was on in front of him for some reason. And the child had never really seen baseball before, and it just excited him. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation made him a special wheelchair that had a button that he could push, because he could move his fingers enough to push a button, and it would swing a bat. And then, his helper would wheel him around the bases so that he could actually play baseball. Still didn't communicate verbally, but you could see the reaction from the child. I'm guessing you see some of that with special hockey.
Oh, a ton. My son has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned, he's on the team. He's nonverbal. Mm-hmm. There's other nonverbal kids. They have their own language, no matter what the issue may be. They have their own language. And we also have on ice helpers,
right?
And they're starts at 14, goes to 18. And they're also local kids. So they play for Frederick Freeze, and other Oakdale High School, and they'll help these kids as basically their one-on-one. We'll buddy them up on the ice and stuff. And you see the same thing, and it's just amazing. And it's to see the mentors' reaction is sometimes that's even bigger than the athletes, because it was well, we didn't dream this would happen.
Right.
And then it just touches the helpers in a different way. And I mean, every kid, they light up when they score a goal, whether they're verbal or not, mm-hmm. but also to see everyone else's reaction and having everyone behind them just cheering.
I gotcha. So when is the next time? I know you're going on the road trip to Jersey to the Franken tournament, mm-hmm. but when is the next time you're going to be playing at home, and maybe some of our local fans can come out and cheer for these kids?
So we're still in the process of waiting for our ice time schedule. Mm-hmm. So
ballpark. We'll announce it when we get closer to the date so people can get
Yeah. Ballpark will be within the last 2 weeks of September.
Okay.
But also I'm having this team in Frederick. The Frederick hockey community has been amazing. Mm-hmm. And I've already been in contact with a couple of the coaches, one of them being Coach Funk with Hood College women's hockey team.
Okay.
And we did a skate with them last year, talked to them this off season over the summer. Hey, I want to turn that into a annual skate, mm-hmm. joint practice. And he agreed. He loves it. He loves it for his players. And that's going to be something early in the season too, maybe October. As soon as we get our ice time, that's when we're going to iron out the details with him. Mm-hmm. So that will be a big thing, just on the ice with the women's hockey team, and just have a bunch of fun playing hockey.
No, that's going to be awesome. I tell you what, I will definitely bring, we like to go out. We've been out to Keys games, DC United games, and other events around the region, the Pickle Park opening. Mm-hmm. And we do breaks from there and let everybody know what's going on. Once you guys are all set up for this season, I definitely want to come out there and, kind of show everybody what it's like when you guys are playing. I think that would be a lot of fun to do that live on our social media. So just keep me updated, and we'll definitely come out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the Keys, speaking of them, mm-hmm. they've been great. Last year, before our season even started, we were able to set up a table at their hockey night. Mm-hmm. And also coming up, I believe the 28th is their Century Friendly night.
Yep.
And we set up a table last season with them. And actually, that was another time that one of our athletes, they love baseball, and we were there. And it just timed right. And even his dad to this day has said, who would have thought going to a baseball game would have introduced us to this world? Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm sorry I put a dent in your pocketbook, but
right,
because hockey is not cheap.
No, it's I joked during the World Cup that a lot of kids are leaving other sports because soccer is so inexpensive to play versus football or baseball or hockey because of the amount of equipment that's involved. I mean, it doesn't make it any more or less fun. It's just less expensive. And some kids, unfortunately, that's what they have to play if they want to play a sport. And, others don't like the contact or whatever. But hockey, to me, is the greatest sport to watch live. Not so much on television, but going to a Capitals game, going to, see any of the minor leagues. I was in Portland for a while and saw the Winterhawks a bunch when I was out there. I lived in Atlanta when they actually had the Thrashers back in the day. And, those games are so much fun. I was managing in Jersey the previous 2.5 years. And so I saw every time the Caps came to Jersey, I'd break out my Caps jersey and all the Devils fans would give me crap, but we had a good time. So, it's the most fun sport to watch live at any level.
Yeah. The Hershey Bears, they're also great. And they've also done stuff with ASHA, which is the American Special Hockey Association. But also when it comes to equipment, we have gotten donations from, there's a place in Rockville, Replay Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Owner Mitch. He's been great. He'll shoot me a text message, which I actually do have to make a trip down to him. He's like, hey, I got a bunch of equipment for you. So it's not 100% each kid has to get their own equipment. We do have donations, and even some of the players at the local rink, their parent might reach out to us. Hey, he outgrew some stuff, got it for Christmas, whatever the case is. And they'll leave it at the front desk, and the rink will make sure we get it.
Right. And the toughest thing is for goaltenders. I actually, back in the day, I played goalie because I wasn't a great skater. I could play defense a little bit. I could skate backwards almost as well as I could skate forwards, but I wasn't quick enough to be a forward. So it was either defense or goaltender for me back in the day. So anyways, I never got to play organized. It was always pickup hockey on Sunday nights at 10:30 in College Park. That's how back in the day it was for me.
Yeah, no, for me, we farted around the neighborhood with a tennis ball and a hockey stick.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in Anne Arundel County, so we were big into baseball, lacrosse, stuff like that. My cousin played hockey, but we never really got into it. Okay. And then big Caps fans, and of course having our son and stuff, and he's big into baseball too, but hockey was just one of those things. And once you fall in love with it, you can't beat it.
All right. And are you a Caps fan? I shouldn't assume, but I'm guessing that you probably are.
Yeah. So I am a Caps fan, but when I first got into hockey, that's when Colorado moved from Quebec.
Right.
And of course they had Joe Sakic, Patrick Roy. And I mean, to this day, just that brawl with the Red Wings. Right. I have a good friend that's a Red Wings fan, and we basically celebrate the anniversary of that. But also, special hockey is not a checking league. The only contact is when like kids that like looking at their feet as they walk
bump into each other.
Yep. Just not looking up, and they just bump into each other. And thank goodness they got pads on. So just got to tell them, get up, brush it off, and they're good to go.
And for me, as the only hockey I got to see when I was really little, the Caps came in 74. So, I was 10 when the Caps came around. But I watched some hockey. NBC used to have a hockey on television. And it wasn't, it was really hard to watch because the cameras weren't great back then. The thing I remember most, the first game I saw was Boston against Detroit.
Okay.
And so I became a Detroit fan because I like their uniforms better. And thank God, because I couldn't be a Boston fan now being a Caps fan. No way. In the same conference and all that mess. But they used to have a thing that taught everybody about hockey called Peter Puck.
Yep.
And he would, I think you were old enough to know who Peter Puck was.
Oh, yeah. No, they brought back.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, so they didn't bring that back to the National Hockey League, but you'll see because I'm older now too. Right. So stuff I grew up with is now considered vintage.
Right.
They have vintage Peter Puck t-shirts now.
Oh, nice. I might have to go find one because that's how you learn what offsides was or what, icing was or any of the other things or, what the difference in the players were. And because they had to have some kind of content to last for 20 minutes because that's the break in the action.
Yeah.
In between the periods, you got 20 minutes to fill. And so 5 minutes would be Peter Pug teaches hockey or whatever. and that's how I learned about hockey as a little kid. Then the Caps came and they were horrible. I think the first year they got 6 wins. But I'm like, I'm a Capitals fan no matter what.
Yep.
And then through the Rod Langway years and, all those guys. And then they started winning in the 90s on a regular basis, but still couldn't get that champion. Then Ovi, to where we are now. So, and this has to be the year. I mean, with all the guys they've gone out and gotten for Ovi, potentially Ovi's last 2 years, maybe.
Yeah. It's hard to say if he's going to come back next year, especially with his stance on how Gretzky retired.
Right.
He didn't do the tour.
Right.
So you don't know how the end of this year's going to go, but the roster on paper.
Oh yeah.
I'm into fantasy football.
Yes.
So we always joke like we have the best roster after our draft, but all it takes is one injury or something to happen, and it just
Tom
goes
Wilson
downhill
gets
from
hurt
there.
or something.
Oh,
like
don't
that,
say that.
I know. I don't. See, that's why I don't buy guys' jerseys either. I do have an Ovi jersey because after a while, I'm like, they're never going to hurt Ovi.
Yeah.
And so I finally broke down and got a couple of Ovi jerseys, different ones.
Well, and with him breaking his leg and coming right back, it just adds to the legend.
I know he's a beast.
Yes. And he's another one that like I'm not big into buying player jerseys, but there's certain ones that like Ovi, he actually donates tickets to the 3 local Asha teams every season.
Okay.
So there's certain players, no matter what team they play for, when they do stuff like that, I'll root for them.
Yeah, I have a TGO shirt jersey too.
Oh yeah,
This is my other favorite.
When he almost makes grown men cry during his Stanley Cup thing because of his dad and all that, you can't help. And he's just a great guy off the ice.
Yes, he is. And now he's announcing hockey. It's fun to watch him do interviews and such.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like watching him at the rink and then seeing that. It's like, well, one, you're like, I watched him, and even Ovi, I watched him for how long, and now he's doing this after his playing career is over.
Yes.
It's like, I didn't realize how long I was watching the sport for.
Yeah, exactly. And, watching Ovi through all these years, I'm hoping, 1,000 still at his age is going to be tough to get to.
Yeah.
If he can get to 1,000 goals. But if anyone can at his age, it's Ovechkin. Yeah. No question.
Yeah. But also, like, there's always the rivalry with the Penguins.
Oh, and
that was always the thing between he and Sid was, Sid's got a couple cups. Ovi hasn't won yet. All right, Ovi's got one. All right, he's got the goal record. We need to win another cup.
Yes. And Sidney doesn't, Sidney Crosby's a great player. I'm not a fan, but I have to give him credit as a great player. He was injury prone, of course, too many concussions.
Yeah.
Nothing, that's something you have to be careful of.
Yep.
He probably could have come back a couple of times too soon and then not be able to talk to his kids when he retires.
Yeah.
You don't want that either. So you kind of feel, I don't want to say sorry because, Sidney Crosby will be in the Hall of Fame. He'll go down as also one of the 10 greatest or 20 greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to be a fan of the guy.
No.
I just can't.
But the rivalry between Sid and O, I mean, it's you. The only time you've ever seen anything close to that was a short period of time, and that would have been like McGuire and Sosa going after 70 home runs.
Yep.
But having them go for 20 years, and if you watch some of Sid's stuff, like his charity work,
yes,
you can like them on the ice or whenever they're not playing the Caps.
Right. Right. And that's all awesome too. I mean, but it would go back to the days of like Bobby Orr and those kind of guys to have those kind of rivalries because guys move teams so much. They make so much money. That's what it's all about now. It's very different in all sports. It's not just hockey. It's Major League Baseball. It's pro football. It's the NBA especially. It's about build a super team, LeBron, let me have everybody on my team, James, and still not winning championships. So, and it's not quite like that. You still have to properly build and stay under the salary cap in hockey. So it's a little different than the NBA that way.
Yeah. Well, and hockey has a lower salary cap, so
Yes.
it's actually harder for them.
Yeah.
And that's when also hockey, like Ovi, he could be the greatest skater on the ice, but you still need a goaltender.
Yes.
You need a team around him, whereas basketball isn't what it used to be.
Yeah,
There's not really any defense
It's
in
the
it
no
anymore.
defense league, no question.
But hockey being one of the best sports when it comes to having a complete team.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a hole in defense, you see that every game.
Yes.
And you also see it in baseball too. Like, I think this year the Nats have scored the most runs, but they've also given up the most runs. So
the relief pitching in both Baltimore and Washington have had issues all year. That's been the biggest problem for both of those teams. So,
yeah.
All right, you and I can talk sports all day and all night,
Yes,
and
we can.
I do appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, give everybody real quick the website and when and where they can sign up if they want to get their kids involved.
Yeah, so signing up would be on specialhockey.org, American Special Hockey Association website, and you would select the Gargoyles as your team. But also, please contact us first because we do have yearly dues and stuff like that. We don't want someone just signing up and, hey, we're on the team. It's like, well, we would actually speak to you first, give you the whole lowdown.
Right.
But Frederick Special Hockey at gmail.com is our direct email. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and the website. I'm drawing a blank on it.
Okay.
But we do have it. It is a link under our bio on our Instagram along with Special Hockey. And I've also linked the sign up for American Special Hockey on there also.
All right, man. Rob, I appreciate you coming by. Frederick Gargoyles Special Hockey. Watch for them. Watch their social media. Watch this show. I'll keep you updated when they're going to be playing at home so you can go see them. And we're looking forward to having some fun with you guys.
Oh, yeah. No, we're looking forward to the season too. And there's been a bunch of like Pennsylvania teams that it seems like they want to travel more. So we might have more than just the college team playing with us and local teams. It's going to be a little bit more fun this year.
There you go. All right, Rob, thank you again for coming by. We're going to take a very short break here. And my name is John Hunt. We'll be back with Frederick Sports.
Sponsored by Taco Bar in Frederick and Gaithersburg and Taquito in Hagerstown. Taco Bar is in West Point Plaza off Route 40 in Frederick and at 3 Russell Avenue in Gaithersburg. And Taquito is at 812 Frederick Street in Hagerstown. Taquito offers the same great quality food with a drive-through experience. TacoBar1.com or Taquito by TacoBar.com.
Frederick, if you're craving real Chicago-style flavor, Rosati's is bringing it. From their cheesy, loaded deep dish pizza to crispy tavern-style thin crust, every bite is packed with that classic Rosati's taste. And don't sleep on the steak and cheese sub. Hot, hearty, and seriously satisfying. Rosati's has been serving family recipes since 1964, and now you can get it right here in Frederick. Stop by 911 West 7th Street or order online at rosatispizza.com. Rosati's, keeping it real since 1964.
How much should law enforcement be able to see when you drive down the street? Flock cameras are raising serious questions about public safety, privacy, tracking, and your data. Now, Everything Frederick Live is bringing the conversation face to face. Join Maryland gubernatorial candidate Dan Cox, Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins, former Frederick Mayor Jeff Holtzinger, and State Senator William Folden for a special flock camera town hall. The questions are yours. The conversation starts here. Join us Wednesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. on Everything Frederick Live.
Thanks once again to Rob for coming by from Frederick Gargoyles Special Hockey. Gave me a pretty cool puck. And thanks everybody for watching. He wanted to make sure everybody knew that he appreciates everybody around this community who've jumped in and helped the team and looks forward to seeing as many of you out as possible. So Again, thanks to Rob for coming by. I do want to thank our sponsors since we just did a break and I hadn't done that yet. See, I don't have to talk about Frederick Feud today. I don't have to talk about the 35th anniversary of what movie we just saw last night, Point Break. And we do want to thank Warehouse Cinemas. We had such a great time out there with everybody who came out to watch the movie. But we do want to thank our main sponsors here on Frederick Sports and John's House. Good morning, Frederick, and across the network, Rosati's Pizza and Hot Fired Arts, both on 7th Street, basically across the parking lot from each other. So you can do some art and then you can go eat some pizza, and you could walk across and you'd be good to go. Donald for Delegate, who's been on John's House a couple of times now and is running for the 4th District Delegate in the state of Maryland. And Peak Performance, the newest sponsor that we've added to our stable. And we appreciate them being on board. They are at 355. And I knew right where I was going to say they were just a second ago. But anyways, they're on the south side of Frederick and right over next to the new pickle park, Ballinger Creek. That's it, 355 Ballinger Creek Drive. So you can stop by and say hi to Kevin and the crew over there as well. We're going to have them on the show as we get a little bit more into the season. They're getting set up with all the high school players coming over there to get their workouts in, as well as the adults. I've never seen, there's so many big dudes working out there. They are all cut and ready to rock and roll to teach you the right way to go. All right, let's talk baseball. We got a lot of baseball in yesterday. The Orioles lost to the Yankees, and it was controversial, and I really wish, this is one of those times where I wish I could put the replay on the screen, but we would get popped for, using Major League content without proper permission. And the Orioles lost to the Yankees after a game-winning home run by the polar bear, Pete Alonso, was ruled foul after numerous replays showed the ball was a fair ball. Everybody saw it as fair, except the guys in New York who make that final decision when they go to the replay. And it's the guys on the field, they see it. But the guys in New York, they make the ultimate decision and they get in the headphones of the umpires. And that was a home run by every possible angle you could see it. Even Yankee fans that are friends of mine saying, yeah, we got a break last night. And so the Orioles ended up losing to the Yankees as that late inning home run would have given the Orioles the win last night. It was crazy as can be. And Polar Bear, he was pissed. There's no question that Alonso was pissed, but he is a classy guy and, said, here's some ways we can solve that problem if we put cameras down the line like they do in tennis, or, you can see the balls and strikes in the little square in the screen on TV. How come you can't do that from the outfield? So maybe that's something that happens in the future, but the replays, every angle that I've seen show that as a home run ball. No question about it. Would have given the Orioles the win. Didn't go that way. The Orioles face the Yankees again tonight before starting a 3-game series against Tampa Bay at Camden Yards tomorrow night. Garrett Cole against Kyle Bradish tonight. The Orioles are, they went from leading to 1.5 games back in the wild card chase in the last 2 games. And again, there's 7 or 8 teams that are battling for that last spot. It looks like the Red Sox and the Yankees have 2 of the 3 wild card spots almost locked down. It's still a little early to say guarantee, but they are far enough ahead that they're not worried about the rest of the cluster of teams that are all battling. I could say it a different way, the cluster, of teams, but, we'll say the rest of the cluster of teams. The Nationals, they actually got a victory last night. They are trying to turn it around, 7 games back in the wild card race. Cade Cavilli has now become the ace. The last 3 games, he has pitched his tail off. Last night, he beat the Rangers 6-0. Cavilli, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts, and no walks. The Nationals had home runs from Jose Tena and Andres Chaparro last night. The Venezuelan and the Colombian players, the El Salvadorian players last night with the dingers for the Nationals. The Nationals tonight against Texas, at Texas, and then they'll head to Miami for some sunshine and beach and games against the Miami Marlins Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tonight, it's Andrew Alvarez going for the Nationals on the hill, Jacob deGrom, the former Met, is on the hill for Texas. Let's take a look at your Frederick Keys. They split a doubleheader yesterday in Wilmington, Delaware. They won the first game 12-9, 19 hits in game one. Again, winning 12-9. They dropped game two, 8-4. Leandro Arias hit a grand salami, and Andy Azokar hit a solo home run in game one. Tonight's series continues on the road through Sunday, and then they'll return home for the final series of the regular season. Hard to believe, against Asheville next Tuesday, which is going to include wrestling night on Saturday. That's during Friday and Saturday being country nights in the ballpark as well. Again, pack the house, because this might be the last time you see some of these guys playing in A-ball. Probably will be for a lot of these guys moving up to A-ball or to, double A or triple A. And you're seeing some new guys, too, that have made their way from Delmarva over the last couple of weeks as we had to move guys up to play in Bowie. So that is, again, that's hard to believe. The last 6 home games of the season coming your way next Tuesday through Sunday against Asheville. The Chesapeake Bay Sox are now 26-20 on the second half, still trying to get into the playoffs. They're 5.5 games behind Erie. They beat Richmond 7-4. Left-handed pitcher. Actually, we got that backwards. They lost to Richmond 7-4 last night. But it's not because of the starting pitching. Former key Joseph Dzwerza, 5 innings pitched, 1 run, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So it wasn't on him. He only gave up 1 run. His last 5 starts, he is 1-0 with an 0.68 ERA and 26 2/3 innings pitched. Again, they watched the innings pitched for these guys. If there's a big lead, they're going to take the starter out and rest his arm for the rest of the season, taking it easy on him as he climbs the ladder toward the major leagues. 12 hits, 5 walks, 27 strikeouts in that last 26 2/3 innings for Dzwerza, the left-handed pitcher. Tonight against Richmond in Bowie, once again, they will play their series through Sunday against Richmond, who won the first half title in the South Atlantic League. So, in Double A. All right, let's look at the Aberdeen Ironbirds. They were off last night. Tonight they'll play the Mahoning Valley Scrappers at Ripken Field. Weather permitting. They are now 21-14 and leading in the second half of the season for the playoffs in the draft league. So a lot of our teams have the opportunity to make the playoffs, as we've been talking about for a little while. And Hagerstown lost to Southern Maryland in the Battle of Maryland. There are still 3 games here and 6 games in Southern Maryland left in that series. They lost 5-4. Same 2 teams go at it tonight at Meredith Field. Again, the Hagerstown Boxcars, Flying Boxcars, are already in the playoffs. They locked down the first half title in the Atlantic League. And in other sports, not a good night for DC United at home. Playing on a Wednesday night, they lost to the New England Revolution 3-0. They're still only 1 point behind the New York Red Bulls. The Red Bulls lost last night, and 2 points behind NYCFC. They are in the 9th playoff spot, which means you have to play a wild card game against the number 8 team to the number 8 team to move on. But again, they're only 2 points out of a lockdown playoff spot if they can get past NYCFC and the Red Bulls. Only 4 or 5 points out of even higher spots. I mean, it's still pretty clustered between number 4 and number 9 in the race for the playoffs. They'll be going till November, so we've got a lot of soccer still left. And last but not least, the Washington Mystics got another win. They've now won 8 out of the last 11. They are 21-14 on the season. The Mystics beat Toronto 93-82. Kiki Raffin, 21 points and 13 rebounds. I got to get in announcing basketball practice, too, because that's coming around the corner. Before we know it, we'll be talking about NBA and high school ball and Mount St. Mary's and, all those places around the region. We'll be talking about all of them in sports. So before we wrap things up, I do want to thank Dougie for working hard behind the computer there, getting me in line, or trying to at least try to keep me in line. And thanks again to the Frederick Gargoyles. There we go. I got it so at least you can see it, for coming out. And Rob Smiroldo having a good time with us here. We could have sat here and talked hockey all day, but, we got to keep the show at a decent amount of time. So I appreciate him coming by. And we've got a lot more coming up tomorrow. It's Friday. So all the weekend series will be getting underway. And we will get you up to date with all of those tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, John's House, right after Good Morning Frederick comes your way at 9. John's House is on at 10. And then, of course, we'll be back to do this again at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right here in Studio 401, the home of everything Frederick Live and tons of other great podcasts that you can be watching. So check out the Everything Frederick Live network on YouTube to find all the other different podcasts, as we have this thing, on 8 different platforms, or 7 or 8 different platforms every time we go on the air. So people are watching, that's for sure. And we appreciate each and every one of you checking out the show. All right, we are going to wrap it up. Tomorrow's Friday, and we are looking forward to it. My name is John Hunt, and remember, you are what you watch and you listen to. Give you cool stuff to talk about around the water cooler at work. I'm John Hunt, and you've been watching Frederick Sports.
Thanks for watching Frederick Sports with John Hunt. From the pros to the colleges, the high schools, and the youth leagues that make Frederick Sports special, we're here to tell the stories behind the games, the teams, and the people who make it all happen. Make sure to like, share, and comment, and join us again next time for more Frederick Sports.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live Podcast Network, your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.